Hello traders, welcome to the weekly market overview with me Pierre at BAFX. Once again we're gonna take a look at all the majors including gold and oil, and yeah guys, those of you who've been following me, we've been killing it as you see week in and week out. So I hope you guys enjoying these videos, and if you do, please do not forget to hit the like button, put a comment, that will help the video a lot. And yeah guys, you will have the time to do that while I roll the intro and disclaimer. See you there. So welcome back guys, a quick look at the calendar, and as you see today I have the high impact event, the red ones, and the medium impact event, the orange ones. And the main reason for that because seems like Forex Factory have downed some major event to medium impact event nowadays because for example, the manufacturing PMI from EU used to be red, the services PMI from the sterling used to be a red event. So that's why I changed that. We have the flash manufacturing PMI from the US, used to be a high impact event, now it's an orange one, final GDP and all that. So guys, lots of event, even though they looks like they are medium impact event. I think you really need to keep an eye on those event, especially on Wednesday for New Zealand. We have the official cash rate and the RBNZ rate statement to watch. If we start on the Dixie as usual, and we take a quick look on the weekly time frame, what been expected last week just happened, and we've got this nice pin bar with a weekly close above the high. So this is usually a reversal pattern, and it is happening at a key structure area. If we look left here, this level is pretty important level, monthly S2 as well, 200 moving average on the weekly at that level. So it is a pretty important area, and it seems like we may get that correction that I've been talking about all the way up back toward a retest of that area up here. Go down to the daily time frame, we see that we had a nice ABC D move with a break above previous high. So we do have now our initial higher low, initial high here, and we have a break above this previous high, which could signal a continuation, or what I'm looking for, at least a retest to the 200 moving average, or a retest of these levels up here. Okay, so I'm looking for a possible continuation, bullish continuation on the dollar for next week as well. And yeah, I'm still short Euro USD for now. We will talk about that later. Oil looks like we may see some kind of a breakout to the upside, but still it is not happening. On the daily time frame, it looks pretty boring around here. The price is stuck in this area, but if we go down to a lower time frame, we see more structure. Let me check the, yeah, we had this trade last week in our trading room where we were talking about previous high to be a sell level, and that exactly what happened. A touch to that previous high, and then a push all the way down, and then another bounce higher. So pretty nice quick trade here, and the question is what will happen now. So I'm watching the 4-hour time frame mostly on this one actually, and I'm looking for two levels on this chart. First off is this low from last week. The second thing we should be doing is now in this trend line, because the market seems to be bouncing on this level here, 1 2, and I'm looking for a possibility if we're gonna see another bounce and continuation to the upside toward that 43.50 area. That is one possibility. The second possibility is if we see a break below that trend line to look for another retest to this bottom here. This is a probably in the new range that we're gonna have on oil, if that would be the case, as you see this little range here. So that is what I'm looking for on oil. If it breaks higher, we may see a quick move toward 42.50 or the 200 moving average on the daily time frame. Gold still looks like we have a possible bullish move. I still think 1800 is still a possible level that gold may reach. If we look on the weekly time frame, you see we were still in a bullish structure with higher highs, higher lows, and still building up something around here, around this area. This range here looks like a build up for a possible breakout toward the 1800. So I still think that 1800 is possible. Looking on the daily time frame, after a retest, now we can get rid of this here. Actually, we don't need that as well. So after after this retest to these previous low, we had a very strong and nice push here, another correction, and probably a continuation now, as you see a little bit of a flag, and we've got that daily push to the upside on Friday that did stop at the top of the range, and this still the top of the range is the key resistance. So as far as this is not broken, we probably could see another rotation back down toward these lows mostly. Okay, so if that will happen, you should probably look for a possible bounce from that level next week, or if we see a breakout happening above this previous highs, I'm looking for a retest and continuation toward the 1800, as I said. Euro USD, expecting bearish next week. Looking on the daily time frame, we do have now a bearish structure that started here with a swing low, a lower high, and a break below previous low. So we have our initial lower high, we have a break below structure, and if we look left, there is not much on the way to stop this market. There is this level here. It may act a little bit of a support, but I think we may see a move all the way down toward monthly pivot point and this previously broken structure and the 200 moving average before probably a bounce to the upside from that area. So short term, I'm expecting a continuation to the downside, and if we measure this move as a Fibonacci retracement, we see that that 618 monthly pivot point, 200 moving average, and this whole previous structure happen to be at that level. So this area here gonna be a pretty important level for the bulls to defend. I don't think the bulls will try to defend here. There's, as I said, there is no structure, no nothing on the way, and yeah, I'm still holding shorts here. One short from this level, another one from this level, and as you see here in our trading room, we're looking for this scenario break, retest, and continuation. We've got last week we've got another break, retest, and continuation, and I'm looking for this to continue lower. So as far as this market keep making lower lows, lower highs, we keep selling rallies. Any retest back toward monthly R1, if it will do that before any continuation, we are looking for a possible short from this area. Sterling USD, same scenario, started a bullish move now after a retest of this major structure here. We've got a push to the downside. I'm not seeing much of support unless we reach this low down here on the weekly time frame. Closed the week at the lows, as you see, and on the daily we do also have a bearish structure that started. The price went back below the 200 moving average, back below monthly R1, and back below 1.26, which was a key structure level. So as I said, a lower high here, we do have a lower low that got broken as well. Nothing on the way looking left until we reach this support down here. So I'm expecting continuation to the downside on the sterling, and as far as we are keep getting impulse correction, sell those correction. Any flag like this, something like that happens, you need to look for probably to sell it. Yeah, if this market will correct higher, I would say another retest towards this structure would be a good sell level. If we got a higher retest here, this area gonna be an interesting level. But as for now, I'm looking for a short-term correction, small ones as we had here, something like this, small flags to happen. If they happen here, we're looking to sell this market. Okay. USD Jappy, a little bit of a boring market at the moment, been trading around here, but now after this very strong impulse we had a little bit of a correction and another push lower. So this support here still holding, but if it breaks, we're going for a retest of 106. So 106 gonna be a possible market objective to test now after the break below this structure. Still there is no break below this low here, and this might get defended next week, so watch that as well. But if this structure will be a broken structure, you look for a retest and a continuation toward 106. Yeah, this is what I'm looking for if the break would happen. The bullish scenario would be that we have a possible double bottom, but we may wait for a strong push higher. It need to break above this high to really be a bullish move, a strong one. But since we have this very strong impulse and still have a lower high here, that's why I'm looking more likely for a downside on this market, since the stock market also seems to be ready for possible push to the downside. We don't talk indices on YouTube. Indices we do all the indices we do that in our trading room. And again, guys, if you're interested to join the trading and chat room, go to my site. The link is down below in the description. And you will have 14 days trial for $1 only. For those of you who want to take their trading to the next level, you have the courses that you can choose from. Also, great prices going on right now. Check that as well. So let's keep moving. USD Chief, this market could reverse a little bit more to the upside. If we look on the weekly time frame on this market here, we see that the market did push all the way down here to this last line of defense. Look how many times this level was tested here with a great bounce from it. It did dip deep in it to then get pushed back up, as you see here. And on the daily time frame, we see it clearly. A morning star formation happened with a close above the high of this hammer. So I'm looking for possible continuation here, especially you look on it on the 1 hour time frame. You have your impulse, you're having your correction, and a possible build out for a breakout, since the lows are getting higher. So I'm looking for a possible breakout here and continuation to the upside, at least toward the 200 moving average on the 4 hour. We will see where this 200 gonna be when and if the breakout happens. So I'm mostly interested here short term for another push to the upside toward this level, to then probably start looking for bearish evidence. Yeah, but early next week I think we may see a break to the upside. USD CAD, looking for the same scenario. We do have a great bounce to the upside from this previously very important structure. It filled the gap as well. The price is back above the 200 moving average after this strong push to the upside. And if we look on the 4 hour time frame, after this double bottom with a spike below it, we had this very strong impulse. We are looking at a possible correction with a build out for a breakout. The same here, the same pattern as USD Chief. You have higher lows coming and equal highs. That most of the time means probably a build up for a possible breakout, and maybe a rotation back up toward these levels, or at least toward these highs here. So also that's what I'm looking for on this market for early next week, that we might see a break out of the range. If that would be the case, I'm looking for a retest and continuation to the upside. Aussie USD, expecting a bearish move after this lower high on the daily after a break below structure. Now we do have a first lower high. Still there is some support down here, but if we go to lower time frames, we see that after this double top with a spike above previous high, stop loss hunt maybe, we've got the break below the neckline, we've got another double bottom that failed to make a new high, and the move to the downside started again. So I'm looking for a break and continuation at least toward this level early next week on this market. So keep an eye on this. If keep going like that, look for a retest and continuation toward this broken structure. This is what I'm watching on this market for next week. Same thing as for New Zealand USD. On the daily time frame, we've got after this break below structure, a lower high and possible continuation. The price was at the extreme overbought, and now the RSI is also pushing lower. So I'm looking for at least a retest of the 200 moving average, or toward this area down here. Look left, we see that this level is a pretty interesting level as a possible profit taking area. So lower time frame on this one looks exactly the same as Aussie USD. Any break below this structure could signal a continuation move. Keep in mind that you do have major news event for New Zealand on Wednesday, so you don't get stuck in some spikes. Okay, so go down to a lower time frame and wait for that break. Now the price is trading nicely below the 200 moving average on the 1 hour, as you see, and rotating lower highs all the way, and seems like we are building pressure for that breakout. If that would be the case, I'm looking for a retest and a continuation all the way down here. That would be great if that will happen. So yeah guys, that was it for the YouTube version of these videos. Thanks a lot. As I said, check our homepage, the site, and check both the courses if you were interested of that, or check the trial of the trading room as well. Thank you very much. See you next week. Bye bye.